Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You may find us on television. We are syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. And we are with the biggest country station in South Carolina, WZLA. Thank you guys so much for letting me be part of the team. I absolutely love being with you, and I love the country music they play. It's the stuff of the 70s.
Oh,
like
yes, that's
the
best.
Group Alabama.
Oh, yes,
They're
yes.
doing
Oak Ridge Boys and the Statler Brothers.
all of that. They even put some of that
Lad
old stuff
Gatlin.
in there.
Yeah.
They have Hank Williams Jr. from
Oh,
my
that's
era,
great.
and then my granddad's era, Senior. So they play it all. So it's so good. But right now they're sprinkling a lot of Christmas songs in there. We're proud of those. You know, the good old country classic from the group Alabama. You know, the Christmas classic.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Christmas in Dixie.
Yeah, that's the best one out there.
Oh, it's awesome. I was in San Diego back in 1998, and I was at an outdoor mall, which we didn't have as many of those then in Alabama because of our weather, especially in the summer when people are walking from store to store, or in the winter when it can be cold like it is now. But in San Diego, of course, it doesn't rain as much, it never snows, and so the weather is really nice. So one of the things they had in their mall, the outdoor mall, was music outside. So as you walk from store to store, you were experiencing that. And one of the things that they were doing in the music was playing Christmas music, and they played Christmas in Dixie when I was walking. And I was in San Diego, and it was like 10 days before Christmas. It made me sad not being at home, but it also made me happy to hear our guys singing out there at that time.
Oh, yeah. You know, Victoria Lee Scott is actually the CEO of the Newscaster Studio. And she lives in California. She lives out in L.A. And I said, well, what are the Christmases like there? And she said, nothing like what you guys said. And she's originally from New York. So she said it was a transition to be used to the snow and then, you know, in L.A. And she's been living there for about 20 years now in L.A. So she thinks she's thinking about moving to the South. I said, why are you thinking about moving to the South? She said, because you people are so friendly out there.
Well,
in the
and
South.
we want to be so welcoming to have people come that want to be a part of the South, but if they come here, we want them to be a part of the South, not to bring their bad habits or their bad attitudes with them to the South
True.
from wherever they come.
And Victoria would be a good one, too. Even though she's from New York, you know, and lives in L.A. She said I would be amazed, actually, at the folks, conservative folks who live in L.A.
I think there are a lot of them, and there's also a lot of those folks that have strong conservative principles in their politics and in their morals, just like our people do, except that they're only in pockets. And a lot of times, because they're restricted, they're not able to elect people that represent their values, but there's still a number of them. And so the potential for successful election at the state level or sometimes congressional seats is still there.
Absolutely. By the way, this is John Merrill. When I'm interviewing friends, I take it for granted. John Merrill, who was our former Alabama Secretary of State, is with Waggoner Engineering right now. It's always so good to be with you, John.
Thank you so much. I'm always honored to be your guest.
Well, I think you're the reason we're getting all these new sponsors. I really do. Wanted to mention a couple of them before we get started. I wanted to, and the one you're going to get a kick out of the name of this one right here. It's Adama Naturals and Cafe. That's one of them. They are located in the Anderson Mall, so it's so good to be with them. Natural, you know, I'm into natural stuff.
Oh, yes.
Natural products. And she actually makes this stuff all by herself, so she does such a great job. I'm going to be on a remote with her tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that. And also, you're really going to love this one. And this is called Kiss My Glass. And so what she does, I know you can take it another way, but anyway.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of people in here that would tell you that. Subtracting 2 letters.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, this is a nice one right here. And she is so talented. So what she does is stained glass. Whether you're looking for a huge project for a big window, or if you want a little keepsake ornament for Christmas or New Year's or Valentine's Day coming up, you want to go on ahead and check them out too. They're at the Anderson Mall. And wanted to thank the Anderson Mall for staying with us, and also the Gadsden Mall and Twin City Used Car Sales located right here in Gadsden, Alabama. And a lot of you folks up north have said, why would I drive all the way to Alabama for a used car? Think about a northern car that is in the ice. They have to use the undercarriage of the car with all that salt and stuff. You're going to get a southern car here, so make sure you check it out. BobbyLedbetter.com. You'll be really glad you did. Wanted to mention Mark Metz is another one of my buddies. He's located out there in Abbeville, South Carolina, Greenwood, South Carolina. He owns his own business as well, Ultra Water. If you're really concerned about your drinking water, you need to check him out. Now, he's worldwide, so you can catch him any way you want to. I have his telephone number if you want to check him out. It's 864-528-9078. Now, talking about folks, Hampton Inn, wanted to mention them as well. We had a great night's stay with them. Do you know what their breakfast is like?
Oh, it's quality.
It is quality. You get all the biscuits you want. Only had one. I'm not a big breakfast eater, but even I ate a lot of breakfast this morning. Bacon was awesome. I mean, and then they also had omelets with the cheese inside.
Yes.
I'm getting hungry. I'm going to have to stop that. We're going ahead and check quality out as well at Hampton Inn and the part of that product as well. But so good to be with you, John, and because you understand quality. And with what you do at Waggoner Engineering is quality work. You're helping a lot of towns and little cities across the United States.
Well, we're trying to do that. And of course, Waggoner is a company that's been in existence for 50 plus years. And we have offices in 6 states, 21 different offices in 6 states, including the District of Columbia. And what we try to do is to meet the needs of the clients that we serve, to identify resources that can help them meet their needs, and to do it in a way that complements what they're currently doing so that they can be successful in providing the services that are necessary to meet the needs of the people that they serve and represent. And that's in the private sector, it's in the public sector, with associations, utilities, any groups that offer the kinds of things that we concentrate on, which would be infrastructure improvements, water, sewer, long-range planning, park design and development, all of the things that are related to making sure that communities can grow and become all they need to become as we continue to work with them to transform their communities and help them be who they are and what they need to be.
Well, with this Donald Trump economy, President Trump, I'm really loving everything he's doing right now. So my business is booming. And you don't listen to the liberal media, okay? Things are really going great. They really are. So I wanted to talk with folks who are thinking about relocating their businesses, whether you're listening overseas or whether you're listening within all 50 states. What are people really looking for when they come into a community?
Well, they definitely want to be in an area where they can produce the resources for their investors or for their owners, whomever they are, and at whatever level they participate, first and foremost. But that includes being able to provide a quality education system for their employees who have children.
You got that check mark right here.
Well, and before that, you've got to look at quality infrastructure with roads and bridges and water and sewer and electricity and gas, all the things that are necessary in order to provide a quality location that will enable them to make money for their business. So when the services that they provide are intact, or the products that they provide are intact, they're able to advance that communication to all the people that could use their services. But also in the quality of life area, educational opportunities for their employees, healthcare opportunities for their employees, making sure that concerts, that things that are necessary for families to enjoy, whether it be playing ball, going to plays, going to parks, having the opportunity to go to pools in the summer if they don't own one in their community or in their home. All of those things are so important to people that are looking to work in an environment that will enable them to accomplish their personal goals. And if we don't consider those things, then we're obviously not doing everything we can to help them be in a position to recruit the kind of quality people that they want and need.
Absolutely. Years and years ago, I used to work for a company called Contel Cellular, and they were bought out by Cellular One, and now they are GTE, Verizon, those areas. So, and your uncle was one of my customers. And so, what we did within our company was a lot of community outreach. Now, that's another thing. If you're an employee, love working for a company who helps with Toys for Tots or whatever agency they're caring about. Want to feed, have blankets for kids, coats for kids, that kind of thing in the wintertime. That's just another thing.
Yes, it is.
Somebody spoke in that well.
It's so very important because when all other things are equal, people are looking to improve their personal situation, their personal quality of life, advancement. And when a community offers that, they're more excited about living there and more enthusiastic about wanting it to grow and wanting their company to grow.
And it's a win-win situation for everybody. That's the employers, the employees, and the community as well. So you're all working as one, as a team. I can't believe we've got to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes with some more tips. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community
Good
College.
afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show where truth matters. It's always so good to be with you Monday through Friday, and that's at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone, and on Saturday with WZLA Radio, the biggest country station in the South, is what they say they are. I believe them. I really do. So we're there with them at 9 a.m. on Saturday mornings. But again, thank you so much for listening, and social media sites as well. We do all of them. If it's social media, we're doing it. So we're so glad to be with you. Continue sending email. You're the reason we do what we do. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. And if you want me to change something, tweak something on the show, it's your show anyway. You just tell me what I need to do, and I'm just a geek. I love to do research. I'll hang out
Well,
in the
and she's
library every day.
worldwide, and she's got a worldwide audience, and she's listening to what people around the world are saying about how she can improve the quality of the program, which is already at the elite level. So when
I'll
we
pay
have
you
that,
later for that
look,
remark.
when we have that happen,
Here's your $50.
it's a good day.
So anyway, I just love it. Anything you would like me to change or add to, I'll be glad to do that for you, because you're, again, the reason we do what we do. Wonderful sponsors. Want to thank all of you guys as well. John Merrill is with me. He's a good friend of mine. Alabama Secretary of State. I'm going to tell you what, you got a lot of great things going on when you were Alabama Secretary of State. We were so proud.
Well, you're so kind to say that. We took a lot of pride in listening to people as they expressed what
That's what
their
we do.
concerns were. And that was in election administration and business services, trying to help with international adoptions, all the different things that we were able to improve while we were there really made a positive difference for Alabama families. And that's what we believe public service is all about.
Absolutely. You know, my daughter-in-law is from Russia.
Is that right?
Yeah, she was brought here when she was 11 years old. She's an American citizen, loves the United States. I mean, she knows more history than I do, and I thought I was a history buff.
Well, look, when people that are not from the United States, that were not fortunate enough to be born here, choose to become a citizen through the citizenship track, which is clearly defined in the Code of the United States, I think it's important to recognize that those people are usually more invested in our country than many of our own citizens, because they have to study and they have to be oriented into those things that are so very important to them passing their citizenship exam. And so you can see many times that they have a command of knowledge and information that many of our citizens don't.
Oh, absolutely. Rick Staines is one of our regular guests on the show. He's been with me for 20 years, since the show started, and he is from England. And so he talks about, he says, there's no better country than the United States. No better.
100%.
He loves his family in Europe, but he just loves being here, and he loves being a citizen.
Well, it's the greatest country in the history of the world, and there's no doubt about that. And when you think about the fact that we're coming up on our 250th anniversary
excited about
of
that.
the Declaration of Independence and the separation of our country from Mother England, July the 4th, 1776, it's a great time to be alive to be able to experience that again. And, you know, as you know, Donna, of course, you were but a small baby at this time, but we were able to have the bicentennial celebration.
No, I remember that. I was in high school. I was in the 12th grade. Everything I wore was red, white, and blue. I mean, everything, I went all out. I've always been very patriotic. My family, all patriots. You know, that's just the way they are. But yeah, I used to make, you know, I used to own a business when I was like 10 years old.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, so my dad starts me out, with love beads. You know, and so I'm making like red, white, and blue love beads, you know, when I got a little bit older, when we had the bicentennial, and I'm just making them, selling them like crazy. But this is what he did, and this is what we need to teach all of our kids. Now, at the time, I thought it was kind of rotten of him to do this. So he bought my first set of beads, from a store in Oxford, Alabama, where I grew up. And so I'm just going crazy making necklaces and selling them and all that kind of stuff. And I said, okay, I'm ready to go back to the store. You can buy me some more beads. And he said, you got money from your inventory. This is your inventory. He said, I bought you first set of beads. Now it's up to you from now on to buy your own. You're going to have to put money to the side so that you can buy your inventory. And that's what worked for me. I learned that from an early age. It's never too young. You're never too young to
No,
teach your
and
kids.
when you are personally invested, like he taught you to be,
I was more
it
careful.
makes a difference in how you approach business and how you approach your customers and how you look at setbacks and accomplishments.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, you buy your own beads, and I'm going to tell you what, when you drop them on the floor, you're not going to sweep them up. You're going to get down on the floor and you're going to pick all those little beads up. That's just what you teach your kids. And there's so many things that you guys through Waggoner Engineering and your time as being Alabama Secretary of State that you were able to bring out for folks. I'm going to talk about the voting.
Sure.
Okay, one big excuse, I thought everybody voted in my family because we are, mother Republican, dad Democrat. So you better believe I grew up in diversity big time. So they voted. Even though they were canceling, I even asked them about that. I said, why do you even bother? And they said, I'm voting. I mean, even though they kind of canceled each other out in their minds, they still did it. Why is it so important we vote?
Well, look, it's so important because every vote counts. And a lot of times people will look at the results and they'll say, well, the vote was X and Y, and so my vote really did not count. And one of the things that we saw during the 8 years that I served as Alabama Secretary of State is numerous occasions where a race was decided by one vote. We had a state Senate race that was actually south and west of where we are now that was decided by one vote out of 16,700 votes that were cast. We had a sheriff's race in a county that was just north of there that was a tie in the general election that had to be decided by a coin flip according to statute. And we had a school board race down in Dothan that was decided by a coin flip because it was a tie. So there's a lot of examples that I can think of off the top of my head that if people had elected not to participate, just like you're talking about, the results of the race would have been completely different because it would have been enough to change the results.
Absolutely. I know someone on Sand Mountain who ran for office, ran for mayor, and lost it by 2 votes. She found out later her 2 kids didn't vote.
Wow.
And so I said, I bet that was an amazing Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Whoa.
I said, I can't believe they actually told you they didn't vote. I would have hid that from my parents.
Right,
Whoops.
right.
So that could have decided to vote. She could have actually been the mayor had it not been for that one thing. So your vote really, really is.
It always counts. And that's the way for your voice to be heard is when your vote is counted. And we have to make sure that we're registered. If we relocate to another part of the state or another part of the community, we have to make sure our voter record is updated because it could result in us changing the location where we actually go to cast our ballot. And if you don't vote in a municipal, in a regional, in a state contest, a federal contest, then you really don't have the right to have your opinion heard because you didn't elect to participate in the most important part of the process, which is the selection of those candidates or the validation of certain issues or topics that are introduced to you through referendum or initiative.
Absolutely. When you relocate, it used to be one of the first things you do. And that's what Phil and I did when we went to Abbeville, South Carolina. Firehouse Road is where we go vote at the firehouse. And that was one of the first things we did. Because I wanted to make sure, just in case there was a struggle, paperwork, whatever, that just in case something happened, I wanted to make sure we voted.
Absolutely. Every time.
And we do vote for the same team. The only thing we don't do is Alabama Auburn. And yes, I'm having to carry the Alabama umbrella another year.
Well, I'm just so thankful that Phil tolerates that part of the relationship with you because, we know he's a great American and once again he proves it.
Well, something. Okay, we can actually have, we could have classes on how to have a great marriage. We really could, except for that one week
Well, it can be difficult.
Oh, it was a struggle. I'm just telling you, it was a huge struggle. So that one week, we were just like harassing each other like crazy. And I'm saying, you know what? I'm going to leave you. I'm tired of all this.
Well, you know I love you, but he's a better man than I am because I'm just not tolerant enough. I'm not disciplined enough, and I'm certainly not loving enough.
Well, I'll have to tell you this. I can tolerate the Alabama fan thing. I don't think I could live with a liberal, though.
Oh,
I don't think I could do that.
look, it starts to get into a lot of different topics, not just the one topic whenever you're talking about that.
Oh, it does. You know, and Christmas holidays and all those things. So I just wanted to say something. By the time this airs, Christmas will be over. Okay, so I'm like one of the few conservatives in my side of the family. Okay, except for Mother, and if you sprinkle with others, we have a lot of Democrats. And it can get testy. I mean, it really can. So the best thing I can do is just look and smile and go, I love you. That's all I can do because I don't want to get into a fight. How would you handle it?
Well,
Because it can get into a...
especially depending on the intensity of the discussion related to that particular topic. And if you don't do it in a way that shows that really, before anything else is considered, you're just expressing your love and appreciation for that person as an individual, there's just some things you have to be disciplined enough and astute enough to know we just can't talk about that. We have to set that aside.
My tongue is extremely sore from biting it. But anyway, a good time by all. But not only that, the Alabama-Auburn too. I'm the only Auburn fan. So what am I, just rubbing against the grain? What is wrong with me?
Well, you know, you're an independent type, and that's one of the things.
Do your own research about stuff. That's
a lot of individuals that pull for Auburn University, and let me say this, it's very clear that Auburn is one of the most outstanding institutions of higher learning in the nation, and they have so much success.
Like you'll never
look,
believe.
and that's one of the things that you love so much, but agriculture, horticulture, equestrian work, bovine work, all of these things that are related to making Auburn one of the top land-grant institutions in the nation. It's what makes us proud that Auburn is in our state, and we have to embrace that. Auburn has, I don't remember exactly what number it is, but it's in the top 5 public institutions in the United States in producing astronauts for the National Aeronautic and Space Administration.
Veterinarian medicine.
We need to be very proud of those facts.
My best friend actually graduated there with, she's a veterinarian. And the best, and she said there were people all over the world attending Auburn University. But I also wanted to mention the medical with Alabama. I mean, I'm just telling you, my granddad was, and Phil's dad was in the Army, was in World War II, and had really, I mean, he really loved the University of Alabama, and so did my granddad. Of course, he was a huge Alabama fan too, but he had cancer in 3 places. And his name was Winfield Scott Bearden. There's a Winfield Scott Bearden who is a doctor. He lives in that area as well. So we got to see my granddad. He's in the hospital, and they have him on this like, it looks like an ultra suite, and it's the finest place you would stay if you're traveling. And so I said, how did you get this? And he said, I don't know. He said, they just placed me in this. I mean, it's just like, it did not look like a hospital room whatsoever. And then later we found out the nurse said, we thought we saw Winfield Scott Bearden. We thought that was the doctor that was here. But they let him stay. And I said, man, just to have that name.
That's
you know what?
great.
We got to call it a day.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't believe this. Thank you so much, John, for being with me.
Thank you for always having me.
And thank you for your friendship. And make sure you tell Cindy I said hello too. As Cindy, I know, is an Alabama fan, but anyway. But at least she's a conservative. So,
That's right.
So there you go. And thank you so much for watching. I love you. I don't care what you are. If you're an Alabama fan or if you're not a conservative, I'm still loving you. Continue sending email. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. Thank you, John. And thank
We'll
you
see you
guys
next
for being
time.
with us. Absolutely. Bye-bye.